Hey there, pirates! Welcome aboard the Anime No Mi channel. Katakuri is going to join Luffy, and the world will tremble. And in today's video, you're going to find out how. Guys, let's start by melting down the basic facts about Katakuri and why he's the perfect ingredient for this alliance against the darkest pirate on the seas. Katakuri bursts in like a hurricane of elegance and power in chapter 860 during the whole Cake Island arc as Big Mom's oldest and strongest son. He wields a paramecia-type fruit that turns everything into sticky mochi, and a spear that pierces like a dentist's drill. He's the guardian of the Charlotte family, with observation haki so sharp it can foresee the future, and a loyalty that makes Zoro look like a casual tourist. In chapter 879, he faces off against Luffy in a battle that lasts for several chapters, testing the Straw Hat as if he were an unbaked cake. But in chapter 896, after an epic fight where Luffy awakens his Gear Force Snakeman form, Katakuri falls while respecting his rival, revealing his stitched mouth and admitting that Luffy is the man who will change the world. That wasn't just a defeat, it was the birth of mutual respect, like two chefs exchanging secret recipes. Katakuri, who always protected his family, sees in Luffy a free spirit he secretly envies, planting the seed for a future alliance. Now, add Blackbeard to the mix. In chapter 1059, the Pirate of Darkness attacks Hancock and captures Kobe, showing his hunger for power and valuable prisoners. The theory goes like this. When Katakuri discovers that Pudding was kidnapped by Blackbeard, he'll join forces with Luffy out of honor and respect, facing the shadowy villain in a clash that will mix mochi and rubber to save his little three-eyed sister. Let's sweeten this theory with Pudding's role, the cherry on top of this sticky theory. Pudding appears in chapter 651 as a deceitful bride in Big Mom's plan to marry Sanji. But in chapter 902, she shows her soft heart, kissing the cook and altering memories to protect the Straw Hats. She has the third eye, a rare heritage that allows her to read poneglyphs, as revealed in chapter 853, making her a juicy target for Blackbeard, who collects powers like stamps. In chapter 1064, in an explosive cover story, we see Aokaji and Blackbeard capturing Pudding, probably to force her to read the secrets of the One Piece. That's no coincidence. Blackbeard, obsessed with powers and treasures since chapter 576 at Marineford, sees in Pudding a key to Laugh Tale. Katakuri, as the protective older brother, won't just stand by. In chapter 896, he already showed he values honor above all, falling on his back in front of Luffy as a sign of respect. Pudding's capture is the trigger. Katakuri, loyal to his family, as shown in chapter 860, defending Totoland, will seek allies. And who better than Luffy, the man he respects and who already saved Sanji, his almost brother-in-law. Now, let's mix the ingredients to see how this alliance against Blackbeard makes perfect sense, like a perfectly baked cake. Blackbeard is the villain of darkness, hoarding devil fruits as seen in chapter 925, where he devours Absalom's to gain invisibility. In chapter 1080 on Hachinosu, he builds a base of chaos, capturing whoever he wants. Pudding, with her eye that reads the ancient language, is a prize to him, just like Hancock in chapter 1059, coveted for her beauty and power. Katakuri, who in chapter 882 predicts movements with pinpoint precision, will foresee the danger and act. But alone against Blackbeard? No way! In chapter 896, he learned from Luffy that alliances can change the game. The theory gains layers. Katakuri joins Luffy in Elbaf, or Pirate Island, using mochi to trap Blackbeard's crew while Luffy punches the captain. This echoes the mutual respect from chapter 896, where their bond began. Let's continue this theory about a possible alliance between Katakuri and Luffy, diving even deeper into the elements that could be crucial for the unfolding of this epic plot and how it could change the course of the One Piece world. As I said before, Katakuri is one of the most complex and fascinating characters One Piece has ever given us. His journey of respect and honor with Luffy goes far beyond a simple rivalry. Upon recognizing Luffy's strength, he starts seeing him not as a mere threat, but as the future Pirate King. This puts him in a dilemma, torn between his family's loyalty and the new order that Luffy promises to bring to the world. Now, if we think about the great villain in this theory, Blackbeard, things get even more interesting. He is, without a doubt, the antithesis of Luffy. If Luffy represents positive chaos and freedom of choice, Blackbeard is the embodiment of corruption and greed. His insatiable hunt for devil fruits and power places him directly against Luffy's ideals. In chapter 1080, as we see Blackbeard's growing influence and expansion across the world, the stage begins to form. Blackbeard wants to destroy everything that represents order and justice, while Luffy and his allies represent the pursuit of freedom and personal justice. The addition of Katakuri to this equation brings a major twist. Katakuri is the guardian of the Charlotte family, but as mentioned before, he's already shown hints that his true interest isn't blindly following Totoland's leader, Big Mom. During the whole Cake Island arc, when he puts himself between Luffy and death, risking his life to protect his sister Pudding, it becomes clear that he has a sense of honor that goes beyond blind loyalty to his mother. This leads us to Katakuri's possible betrayal of Big Mom, a highly significant move. It's not just about family loyalty, but about principles. If Pudding is captured by Blackbeard, it would be a direct insult to the Charlotte family and to Katakuri's honor, which he has shown he won't compromise. Here lies the key. Pudding is the key to the One Piece, and that would undoubtedly place Katakuri and Luffy on the same side of the battlefield against Blackbeard. Katakuri knows that if Pudding falls into Blackbeard's hands, he could use her powers to uncover secret information leading to the location of Laugh-Tale and the One Piece, something Blackbeard clearly craves for himself. The alliance between Katakuri and Luffy won't come easily, but it's founded on something already foreshadowed in chapters 896 and 860, mutual respect. Throughout his journey, Katakuri has always acted with a warrior's code. Even when he was defeating Luffy, he did so with a dignity that, in the end, revealed the great heart he had. He didn't act merely as a soldier of the Charlotte family, but as a fighter who could recognize the worth of his opponent. Their battle wasn't just physical, it was a clash of ideals. Luffy, with his vision of a free world, and Katakuri, with his sense of honor and loyalty to his family. Luffy, on the other hand, has something no other character possesses, an incredible ability to break barriers and create unlikely alliances. He's already done it with Trafalgar Law, Eustace Kid, and even with Jinbe and other members of his crew. What makes this potential alliance with Katakuri even more interesting is the fact that although Luffy defeated Katakuri on the battlefield, he did so not through brute strength, but through courage, strategy, and a unique view of the world. Katakuri's respect for Luffy was born not only from his defeat, but from the way Luffy faces life. This is the true reason why an alliance between the two could be an unbeatable force. They share a mutual respect that transcends rivalry. Pudding, Katakuri's sister, is the key to this alliance story and the move against Blackbeard. As one of the few people capable of reading the poneglyphs, and therefore accessing the secrets of the One Piece, she is an extremely important target for Blackbeard. Her capture is not only an attack on the Charlotte family, but also a strategic move aimed at Blackbeard's rise to pirate royalty. Katakuri's relationship with Pudding goes beyond blood ties. It's a bond of protection and honor. When he discovers that Pudding has been captured, he doesn't just see it as a threat to his family, but also as an obstacle to Luffy and his allies' plans for freedom. This is where the dynamic between the two pirates becomes even more intriguing. Katakuri, who once saw Luffy as a rival, now views him as the necessary ally to defeat Blackbeard. The fact that Luffy freed Sanji during the whole Cake Island arc is an indication that he wouldn't hesitate to help the Charlotte family once again, this time with Pudding. Even if Katakuri has his own goals and wants to protect his sister, he knows that only an alliance with Luffy can provide the strength needed to rescue Pudding while also neutralizing the growing threat that Blackbeard represents. The theory suggests that the alliance between Luffy and Katakuri could take place in one of two locations, Elbaf or Pirate Island. Elbaf, the land of the giants, is a place where Luffy already has ties through his friendship with the giant Hakuba and his connection with the captain of the giant pirates. Elbaf could also be where the final battle against Luffy's greatest enemy takes place. The battlefield of Elbaf would be the perfect arena for this union of forces, with Katakuri using his mochi to trap and confuse enemies while Luffy fights Blackbeard head-on. On the other hand, Pirate Island, Blackbeard's stronghold, is where he accumulates power. As seen in Chapter 1080, a battle on Pirate Island would have even more dramatic implications, as Luffy would be invading his greatest enemy's territory to rescue someone as important as Pudding. This would create an even more tense and dangerous situation, since both Katakuri and Luffy would be facing not only Blackbeard but his entire crew and the many threats tied to the Dark Empire he has built. Finally, it's possible that this alliance between Katakuri and Luffy could also represent the end of Big Mom's era. If she were to return and attempt to reclaim her empire, Katakuri, as we've seen before, could rebel against her, choosing his family and his values over his mother's tyranny. This could mark a definitive breaking point where Katakuri finally stands alongside Luffy with a shared goal: to free the world from authoritarian figures like Big Mom and Blackbeard. In that scenario, Luffy would be not only an ally, but the symbol of a new future, one where the power of true alliances rises above the tyranny of the old pirate order. That was today's content. We hope you liked it and want to share your opinion on the subject. Don't forget to share the video, give it a thumbs up, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care and stay amazing.